Morning, everybody. It's Saturday, May 10th, 6:43 a.m. Welcome to a Saturday in the life. So for today's adventures, we got a cup of coffee to start the day off right. But then we are waiting for it to dry out a little bit. It has been absolutely dumping rain all week, with the exception of Wednesday, which was a beautiful day. But everything is soaked. Today's going to be dry, tomorrow's going to be dry, but we're just going to give it some time this morning to dry out a little bit further before we head out. We've got a little under 22 miles planned for today. Pretty much the same format as last Saturday's run. However, we're going to learn from mistakes that we made last week. So this week should be a bit more productive. Although I will say I'm feeling very stiff, very tight right now. Did not have a good week of mobility work this week. And I'm going to be honest, I'm feeling it. But I'm going to have a little bit of a chill morning. I'm going to do a little bit of reading. Enjoy this coffee. Have my mushroom coffee. Have my AG1. And then I've got to pick up a drill bit. Well, it's an impact driver adapter for a socket so that I can take my lawnmower blades off, because I have one that is not budging. I have used the liquid lubricants to loosen up nuts and bolts. I have used every possible form of leverage I can think of. The last thing being an impact driver. But I don't have a bit or the right socket size. I do have the right socket size. I went down to the farm to the workshop and I do have one that works. It's a 1-inch socket with a 1/2-inch drive. But I ordered the bit last night. So we're gonna go to Home Depot, pick that up. While we're there, probably go to Chico's, get some food. Waylon's gonna come along with me, because Saturdays are for the boys, and he's my dog, literally. Look at that guy. Yep. So that's the plan. Come back here, work on the mower a little bit. Hopefully at that point, things will be a little bit drier. I'll have food in the system. I'll be caffeinated. And then we'll head down, knock that thing out. And then maybe, just maybe, see, this is what he does. He gets all excited. Hi, buddy. Yeah. Just maybe, we'll be able to mow the lawn. What do you think, buddy? Yeah. Update. We got breakfast down. The whole purpose of this is to film content, right? Film content, edit content, post the content. I didn't freaking film anything about my breakfast, which it's like, why? So, there's that. But anyways, Basically just heated up leftovers from last night. I cooked up a pound of 8515 ground beef from Trader Joe's. Once that was pretty much all cooked, I threw in a couple of handfuls of baby spinach to wilt that down a little bit without fully cooking it down. Had half of that last night, had the other half this morning, as well as a slice of Casey sourdough bread with a little bit of Kerrygold's butter and some 4 Fruits preserve that we get from Costco. Delicious. And just as I did last night, when I finished my meal, I let Waylon clean the bowl. And he seemed pretty happy. Quite content. Finishing up coffee number 2. This is actually the mushroom coffee. In my Marauders map mug. I solemnly swear that I'm up to no good. Finishing this up. And then going to put my contacts in, get ready for the day. And Waylon and I are going to head out. Hit up Home Depot. Get that drill bit thing. Also going to get some shop paper towels because I don't have any of those. And if I'm changing oil today, I'm going to want something that's absorbent. So I'm going to pick up some of those as well. And then we're going to go to DeChico's. Grab a couple things for dinner tonight. Some snacks as well for later in today's run. And then we're going to come on back to the house. I am going to work on the mower for a little bit. Hopefully get all that squared away so that potentially tonight I can do at least the first pass on the lawn. Because she'd be looking feral and untamed. Which for the most part I'm actually okay with because like the wildflowers and other like plants like that are good for the pollinators in the area. So go nature. But then the other side of me, which is kind of anal about the lawn looking crisp and well groomed, is like silently losing its mind. But let me finish this up. We're going to get ready. We're going to head out the door. Get the day going. A little bit of a late start. A little bit of a casual start, which is kind of nice. I'm not going to lie. Considering weekdays are normally go, 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 go. It's nice to have a little bit more of a lax start to the day. All right. There you go. All right. Classic in the car content, which is somehow where most of my content comes from, unfortunately. That I gotta work on. But we're heading down to Home Depot now. I got Waylon. He's hanging out the window. Gonna grab that bit. Gonna run inside and grab some of those shop paper towels. Shooting over to DeChico's next door to get some food for dinner tonight. Probably a steak or something. But sad news update. Unfortunately, I just got word from the family friends who do the morning feeding on the weekends, the horses and the chickens, that we lost a chicken, unfortunately. So I got to investigate a little bit further, scope out the coop and the run, and see if something got in. And if it did, I need to batten down the hatches. So another task / project added to the list. We're already adding more prior to accomplishing any. That is just sometimes how it goes. So I will look into that later today. But that said, that puts us down to 23 chickens, I believe, down at the farm, plus our 2 house chickens, so 25, which means 23 egg layers since we have 2 roosters. And the house rooster, Bentley, the little Silky, he has been getting kind of feisty. So I don't know what that's all about, because he's been somewhat docile, but I guess he attacked Casey the other day when they were out, and when I was just feeding before hopping in the car, he sort of like lunged at the little door there. So he might need to be put into his place. Stay tuned. All right, that's your little update. I'll see you guys at Home Depot. All right. So here's the bit. Here's the piece. It's a 1/4 inch hex to a 1/2 inch driver socket adapter. I got my Ryobi 18 volt impact driver. Fits. Got the 1 inch socket for the mower blade. Fits. We're ready. Also got some shop towels for realistically for changing the oil later, so that we don't use the nice towels at home. And those are just nice to have in the house. So heading over to the Chico's next. Grab a couple things for dinner tonight, a couple of snacks for the run, and we'll head back home, do a little bit of work on the lawnmower, and then we're gonna get going on this run. So let's go head over there and I'll show you guys the haul. Hi, buddy. Hi. I got us something. How you doing? How you doing? What are you? All right. We got the phone propped up in the steering wheel to start us off. We got a clean yerba mate little seltzer drink thing here. These are delicious. Normally I go with the lemon lime one. I've never had the peach before, so we're gonna give that a whirl. I've also got a couple of David bars. So pumped that I found these at the Chico's. These things are unbelievable. They have 28 grams of protein and 150 calories per bar, which is like unheard of. These are highly marketed and talked about on Andrew Huberman, Peter Attia, that whole crew. Andy Galpin, sorry that I couldn't think of his name. They are all involved in the David bars. They promote the David bars. These are actually really, really, really good. So new flavors, for me at least, chocolate chip cookie dough and cake batter flavored. So those would be a nice little snack for later. They also had Perfect bars, 2 for $6 on sale, 2 for $4, I forgot. But dark chocolate almond and chocolate mint. I figured these would be good snacks for during the run. 320 calories, more or less, for each. 25 grams of carbs, 14 grams of protein, 12 grams of protein, 20 grams of fat for each. A lot of unsaturated fats, which are good. Saturated fats are good as well, but everything's in moderation, right? And some fiber, which is good. We need fiber in our diet. So those would be nice snacks during the run. Also got this massive thing of fruit. It's like a quart of fruit. Yeah, 32. That's a quart, right? Yeah, pints a pound the world around. 2 pints or a quart. Yeah, 32 of passion fruit salad. I love fruit. So we got blueberries, strawberries, kiwi, pineapple, mango, watermelon, papaya maybe? I don't know. Very excited for this. Got a ketone IQ for during the run with 100 milligrams of caffeine. And, drum roll please, bum, 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 bum. I think Waylon is most excited for this one. Got us a couple of steaks. Boneless sirloin. Kind of a one for me, one for him kind of thing. Special dinner for the boys tonight. What do you think, buddy? You like the steak? Yeah? What do you think? He doesn't know what to think. So that's the haul. We are gonna head back home. I'm gonna have, let's see, what do I want? I might go with a David bar now. No, I'm gonna go with a Perfect bar now. Onboard some carbs, a little bit of protein, and some fats for the run. I'm gonna do some work at the house. For the lawnmower, and then we're gonna get going on the run. I'm gonna carb load up beforehand with the usual. I'll walk you guys through that, and then we will go for a run. It is starting to get really freaking nice out. Sun is coming out, which is going to help burn off some of the precipitation and moisture on the ground. Let me grab this. Dry things out a little bit. It's a little windy. It's a little cool, but that's okay. We're gonna make the best of it. We're gonna have ourselves a good day, right, Waylon? Right, bud? He's too focused on, well, I don't really know what he's focused on. All right, let's go home. Enough rambling. I'll see you guys back at the house. All right, so we got our drill, well, our impact driver, and we're gonna try to take this thing off. As you can see, I've got the new blade on that side, old blade on this side. Used probably way too much of this blaster penetrating lubricant releaser stuff to try to loosen this thing up. But more is better, right? So let me give this a whirl, and hopefully this thing comes off. Update. The bolt edges are kind of stripped. So I don't really know what I'm going to do in this situation. I might have to take apart the whole like pulley system and see if that works. I don't really know. This is a huge pain in the butt. We also might just be stuck with this blade forever. This is real annoying. So we're gonna move on to changing the oil in a lawnmower instead. So at least we can get her running. Damn. That really grinds my gears. All right, let's swap the oil out. All right, well, I was able to drain the oil. And replaced the original drain plug with this plug valve replacement kit. So it's got this sort of J lock on it. So you turn that to the left and pull it out, and it's got this little stopper valve right there. So you pull that cap off, and it's got a little stopper valve that will open up, and you can attach, before you do that, obviously you would attach a hose so that that can drain out into whatever collecting bin you have to drain the oil. So that will make future oil changes significantly easier, at least it should. Looks like I still got a little bit of oil on there that I gotta dry off. And was gonna put more oil in, you know, do a full oil replacement, but I don't have enough oil. So that means another trip to Home Depot to get more oil. And after looking further into it, they have extractor sockets, essentially, that have a reverse helix design, so a spiral, like a groove spiral, that really grabs onto rounded or rusted out or stripped down bolts. So I am going to check the farm first and see if we have any in the machine barn. We should. We have just about everything else. But if not, I found a set on Amazon that came pretty highly recommended, highly rated, for relatively cheap compared to some of the other ones out there. So hopefully cheap doesn't mean poor quality, but also hopefully there's one down at the machine barn. I was hoping my Go Gels would get delivered by now. They're still out for delivery. So I just mowed the back section finally. I think I might putz around for a little bit longer. It's 11:20. I don't really want to go out to Home Depot again right now. So I might just start getting ready for the run and, I don't know, go from there. I have no idea where the FedEx truck is. I can't track that, but I might give it another 20 or 30 minutes and then get going on this run around noon. Sun's come out, clear skies, it's warmed up a bit, it's drying off, the wind has died down, all positive things. So I think we're gonna get going on this and hope that the Go Gels come within the next 20 or so minutes. All right, on to the next event. All right, down here at the farm, setting up our base station for today's long run. We're gonna do a repeat of last Saturday, hopefully with a better result. So it'll be 2 loops per section. So each loop is 3.6 miles, so 7.2 miles per section. And then I'm gonna do 3 of those. At the end of each section, I will have 5 minutes to sit down, replenish water, nutrition, electrolytes into my soft flasks, rest the legs a little bit, stretch out anything, take care of anything that I need to, reapply squirrel's nut butter, any of that stuff. Hop on here briefly, film, and then head back out, all within 5 minutes. So I'll do that 3 times, totaling 21.6 miles. And then sort of an after run recap. Before we start running though, I am going to run over to the machine barn and see if we have any of those extractor sockets that I was talking to you about earlier. So let me throw my shoes on and I'll walk you guys over there. All right, well, I missed
filming both rest stops. So we're gonna do a I don't know, an after action report, after action review, post run review. Went a hell of a lot better than last week's run, I'll tell you that much. Between it being cooler out and just being better on top of nutrition and hydration, went significantly smoother. Finished with what was it? 21.8 miles at a 9:53 minute per mile pace on average. Total time of 3:35:37. 135 beats per minute average heart rate. And burned just about 3,000 calories. So that's kind of cool. Average moving pace was 9:24. So basically kept the clock running while I had those 2 5-minute rest periods after each section. And so obviously with that, you're not moving, so your average pace is going to creep up. So that explains that. Yep, a little over 10 minutes of rest time, so that's the 2 5-minute rest periods. 3:25 active time, 3:25 move time. I spent 3 hours and 17 minutes running and just under 9 minutes of walking. So walking up that steep section of the hill on the far end 6 times. So that adds up. Heart rate was 135, maxed out at 153. Big aerobic work. According to the Garmin, 4.3 out of a 5-point scale on the aerobic scale, 0 anaerobic. All makes sense. 1,500 feet of vert. Much of that coming from the climb at the far end. Yep, that's the stats. So that puts me at just about 49 miles, 48.89 miles on the week. So with tomorrow's run, that should put me up and over 60 on the week, which is good. I just got shit on. Look at this. Yeah, hit with the drive-by. Unbelievable. Huh. I don't even remember what I was just talking about. That was wild. Yeah, I completely lost train of thought. Happy with how the run went. Both Achilles are a little achy. I did not get a chance to do much rehab on them this week, so that was on me. I dropped the ball on that. Take the rest of the day relatively easy. I am going to try to mow the lawn. So I guess active recovery in that regard. I am hungry. So I am looking forward to that steak tonight. Steak and Brussels sprouts is on the menu. And I got a steak for Waylon as well. He's gonna lose his little mind when I feed him that. Oh, tired. Very tired. I'm going to bed early tonight. House to myself for the weekend. Casey's up in Maine. I'm gonna go to bed at like 8:30 and not feel bad about it. What time is it? 4:38. I'm gonna feed the horses, feed the chickens now, so I don't have to come back later. And then I'm gonna head home. I gotta stretch. Definitely gotta stretch after this because I already feel things tightening up just from sitting here. Yeah, all right. I'm rambling. I'm in sort of like post long run fatigue. Nutrition wise, pre-run, I did 2 scoops of G1M Sport plus 1 scoop of Momentous Collagen Peptides. I always do a scoop of the peptides pre-run, about 20 to 30 minutes before I go out on my run, so that it's in my system. And because connective tissue doesn't have a ton of good vascularity to it, I want it loaded into the system so that the activity increases blood flow to those areas and the collagen can get to where it needs to go, or so the research says. So that was done pre-run, and then I started the first section with I tried doing a full scoop in one of my soft flasks, but I loaded it like an idiot. And the soft flask was already full, and I tried pouring it in, and it gunked up, and it didn't go as planned. It was not my best move. So I started with half of a scoop in one flask and straight water in the other flask. And when I got back from that section of the 2 loops, I filled up my shaker bottle with 2 scoops of G1M Sport, topped off 1 soft flask with it, drank the rest, filled the other soft flask up with water, and then I had a Perfect Bar and took my 1 remaining Go Gel with me out on that loop. And at the halfway point of that section, so after 1 loop, I had the Go Gel. I had the Go Gel and carried on my last section. I just did 2 scoops of G1M Sport in the shaker bottle, filled up my soft flask, pounded the rest, had a couple bites of that fruit cup. I really didn't touch much of it, unfortunately. The 5 minutes kind of goes quick. So I will have that with dinner tonight as a bit of a dessert. Maybe with yogurt. That would actually be pretty good. And going out on the final loop of the last section, I just topped off water really quick, so that, you know, I could just have that extra water with me. So yeah, that was nutrition during the run, hydration during the run. I'm gonna wrap things up here. I'm gonna go feed the animals. Actually, I'll bring you guys along. These are the supplies for the garden project, which we need to get a move on because we're pretty behind. So let's grab a few flakes of hay. 4. These guys. Hey boys. Some Food for the ladies. Happy chickens. Couple of flakes for the ladies. And some peanuts for the crows. Now, why peanuts for the crows, you might ask? Crows apparently love peanuts. And so we have been putting peanuts out on the horse pasture fencing around the chicken coop to try to draw them in and be near our chickens, because apparently crows are defensive birds, and what they'll do is they'll actually scare off, fight off, drive off birds of prey like hawks, and somewhat help keep our chickens safe when we let them out in free range out of their pasture, or out of their chicken run. Put them on fresh grass, stuff like that. So yeah, kind of neat nature fact. Nature's pretty neat like that. But that's the animals. It's feeding time. It's dinner time for them. Just about dinner time for Waylon and I. I'm all done here. Let's head home. I'm losing steam. I'm gonna level with you. Waylon looks like he's losing steam, but there's more that needs to be done. So let's wrap things up here and get back home. Well, Sunday morning. It's actually Mother's Day today, so don't forget to tell your moms you love them and happy Mother's Day, and thank them for bringing you into this world. Not much happened after yesterday's run. I got home, I cooked up dinner, including Waylon's steak. He enjoyed it. I'll insert a clip of that here. Do you want the steak? Uh-huh. Come on. Is that cool? It's actually a lot of food. I did the steaks. I did Brussels sprouts and broccoli. Roasted all that up. Had two bowls of that, and then pretty much went to bed. I was shot. Feel stiff today. I probably should have stretched again before bed, but as I moved around a little bit this morning, it's coming back, loosening up a little bit. Surprisingly, the lower back is tight. Or I guess I should say, I'm surprised at how tight the lower back is. But it is what it is. Like I said, today's Mother's Day, so I am having a bit of a chill morning. I got my coffee going. I'm going to read for a little bit. And then probably around 9:30, I'm going to hit the road, drive up to Massachusetts, go up to see my mom. Spend the day up there. See my sister and my nephew as well. And then come back home for like 5 or 6. Hopefully at that point Casey will be home, because she's up in Maine right now with her sisters visiting their mom. So that's the sum up of the day in the life. I guess
day and a quarter in the life, because today's Sunday. 2 days. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching this video if you've made it this far. I appreciate you all. As always, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.